Okay, thank you so much, everybody, for joining today's webinar. We are still expecting that we are going to have a few more people joining, and I just want to take this opportunity to welcome you to this session today, where we'll be talking about the future of AI and what's the role of AI in modern enterprises. So just to welcome you and to tell you more about Tech Africa. So Tech Africa is an edutech company that is based here in Nairobi, and yeah, we deal with quite a lot of things. One of them being training, that is in terms of data analytics and data science. So if you need any data science courses, Tech Africa is your go-to place. If you also need any tech training, we have instructors who are very qualified to handle any matter in terms of web development, web design, software development, mobile applications development. And our vision majorly is to bridge the gap. For a very long time, Africa has, I would say, lagged behind when it comes to technology. We are a lot of light years behind the rest of the world. When schools in China are training their kids on matters artificial intelligence, in Africa we are still training our kids in matters cultural things. And I'm not saying cultural things are bad, but I just feel that we have kind of lagged behind when it comes to training on artificial intelligence and emerging technologies, which is where the world is heading. So I just want to welcome everybody once again, and I hope we can all learn together. If you have any question in the course of this webinar, please feel free to join. Feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to interact, or you can also drop your questions on the chat box. Why we are here tonight is because we want to learn about what's the role of AI in the modern enterprises. That will be the major discussion tonight. But more importantly, it's not about the role of AI in modern enterprises, but it's more of how do we position ourselves to be able to remain relevant. I know some of us are in the tech field, and there is this discussion about is AI going to replace you? And I think that's a controversial discussion, which should not be happening actually right now, because we had an era about computers some time back, and they say that they are going to be replacing messengers, they are going to be replacing several types of I would say careers that were developing then. But now the thing is, when something happens or a revolution happens in the world, there is always an opportunity. I'm one of the persons, or one of the people who tend to think that it's best if we think of the glass as half full rather than think of it as half empty. Now, in this case, the glass is half full because as we are replacing some of the careers that were there with the absence of artificial intelligence, we are now pushing the discussion to newer opportunities. And these opportunities are actually positioning us as Africa and positioning us as entrepreneurs or business-minded people in Africa into a new realm of opportunities. Now think of when they say that AI is going to replace your developer, the thing is, artificial intelligence, however intelligent it is, I always tend to think that the human brain is engineered in a different way. And the reason is, we as human beings can be able to think irrationally. We can be able to think from different points of view. But artificial intelligence, it's trained to think or follow instructions. It's still a program at the end of the day. So that's why we are going to be talking about how do we transform businesses through artificial intelligence and automation. I think that has been a very big discussion when it comes to businesses out there, about automation and how they can automate several tasks that happen. Nowadays, you don't need to keep doing the same thing, repeating the same thing every now and then. You just automate with a few lines of code, and you can be able to get a fully fledged program that can always be able to transform that or automate that task over and over again. Therefore, I want us to start this discussion from a very high point of view. And the agenda of the day today is, one, we want to check on the AI transformation landscape. How have we transformed through different periods of artificial intelligence? How far have we come? What has changed since we started the discussions about artificial intelligence? What is that one thing that has changed? So that will be one of the things that we'll be talking about. Then number two, we'll also be talking about some real-world applications and cross functions that happen using artificial intelligence. And then we're also going to look at what are those quantifiable business values that we can be able to get using artificial intelligence. In Africa and in African businesses, or in the business world, it's kind of trying to know what are the best tools. And the thing is about artificial intelligence, we are getting new tools every day. Actually, today we have already launched another artificial intelligence. So we are getting a new tool every 24 hours. And the reason is simple. Artificial intelligence is making it easier for us to be able to ideate things. So you have an idea, and traditionally this idea would have taken you probably 1 month, 2 months for you to be able to actualize that idea. But now at the moment we have something we are calling vibe coding. How many are familiar with what we call vibe coding? Anybody familiar with that language? Vibe coding, you can raise up your hand if you know what vibe coding means. Okay, you can do a thumbs up if you understand what vibe coding means. Okay, is it Kasim? Kasim, I can see your hand raised up. Anybody else who understands what we mean by vibe coding? Okay, I'll try to explain. So vibe coding is where we have these tools, artificial intelligence powered tools, such as we have several. We have Windsurf, we have others like Casa, we have others like Google Copilot, we have Lovable, we have Bolt.dev, we have almost 100 of these tools that you can be able to code just by prompting. Now, when we talk of prompting, I think this is also another career that has developed due to the rise of artificial intelligence recently. So prompting or prompt engineering is where you are able to, I know most people know artificial intelligence as ChatGPT, or maybe you could have known any other tools. We have several tools, and actually right now most businesses are now rushing to see which is the best tool to use. But now when you talk of vibe coding, it's where you just write an idea, and then these vibe coding tools are able to take that idea, code the back end, the front end. You don't need to know everything about databases. You don't need to know anything about front end or back end. You just need to understand what idea you are looking for, or what you are actually looking for, and then once you understand that, then you can be able to create a tool, or you can be able to create that from an idea into an application, a web application or a website. Nowadays, websites are no longer taking 2 to 3 weeks to be able to complete. They're just taking a few hours and you're done. So yeah, that's what we are trying to say. Somebody texted something on the chat. Andy is asking, okay, the coding you're talking about. By the question, you mean I type the vibe coding tools? You can confirm, and the team will obviously help where necessary. Okay, so yeah, moving on. So as I was saying, now artificial intelligence is a whole. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Have you been able to get up the system that allows you to share your screen?
Yeah. I'm actually logging in right now.
Macharia, if you're speaking, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, awesome. If you are unable to get that screen up, please share with me the presentation that I may share it with them.
Okay. Okay, but I'm already back, so just switching the devices once again. I think we are okay for now. So was it Andy? Your question, please clarify what you mean by the coding I'm talking about. You mean the vibe coding tools?
I need to understand what you meant by vibe coding tools. Andy, please confirm for us if it is possible for you to confirm. You can do it via your mic.
Yeah, you can unmute and just tell us.
The vibe coding modes.
Okay. Maybe I can compile a list and we can share with the whole team once we are done. Will that be okay? Will that be okay? Can you hear me? Charlene, can you hear me?
Yeah. No, I am struggling to hear you. There is an interference.
Okay, I keep wondering what's happening. Okay, let me just share the presentation with you, and then you can help share your screen from your end, and then I can join from another device. Okay. Okay, let's just do it from this other device, and then let me share the presentation with Charlene.
We cannot hear you, Bonnie. I can see you. We cannot hear you, Bonnie, but I cannot hear what you're saying.
Okay. Sorry about that. I was still on mute.
Moving the
Okay. Can you hear me now? Hello? Anybody else, please confirm if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, if I get lost, please let me know. You can unmute and let us know. Okay, so Andy was talking about vibe coding, and we were saying that right now you don't need to take 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 weeks building a website. What you do is you go into these vibe coding tools, you type whatever you think should be on your website, and then watch the magic happen. Yeah, so that's what we mean by vibe coding. So that's become like one of the other emerging careers. Soon enough we'll be seeing it as a career that is being actually advertised in the business world or in the corporate world. So yeah, that's about vibe coding. So moving on to our some of the vibe coding tools we have. We have Windsurf, we have Lovable, we also have I've already talked about Windsurf. We have Google Copilot, we have bolt.dev, we have Firebase, we have Magic Loops. Those are some of the artificial intelligence tools or powered tools that you can use to do vibe coding. Okay, the other use of this is when you as a business person have an idea but you don't know how to express it to your developer. Okay, so you have a developer, you want them to build for you a certain system, but you don't know exactly how to do that, or you don't even know what kind of idea you have in your mind is not the same way that the developer is getting. So what you do is you go into these vibe coding tools, and then once you log in, you can be able to ideate and then share that visual mind with your developer, and then the developer can take it up from there and put it into code and put it into a system. Okay, so that's another way of using this artificial intelligence. Now this also poses a different kind of risk. Okay, but as we said at the beginning of this webinar, we said that we need to start looking at things from a glass is half full, half empty perspective, and start looking at things from a glass is half full perspective. Okay, now when I talk of this, I mean the same way we are having developers going out or being phased out, because now we have a tool that is going to be able to create whatever you needed 2-3 developers to do. It also poses another risk of cyber security. Okay, and that's because when something is vibe coded, you cannot exactly know when there is a certain data leakage. So it poses another risk of data privacy, because sometimes you'll find probably you're looking at a certain code, or you're looking at a certain say website. The website is looking okay, everything is checking out okay, but then just give me a minute, let me share the presentation so that we can have it from Charlene's end. Charlene, sending the presentation to you. You can confirm once you get it. Just shoot it up as we continue. So as I was saying, vibe coding, or use of artificial intelligence, or over reliance of artificial intelligence, is also creating another different kind of opportunity, where now we are in constant need for cyber security experts, and this is going to help the businesses or the business world to be able to ensure that whatever vibe coded tools they are going to be using are not actually selling off their data, the data about their companies, and also when it comes to some of the systems that handle personal data, right? Yeah, Kasim, thank you. Google AI Studio is also another vibe coding tool. So we have a lot of them. Thank you so much, Kasim. I can see you are helping out. So we have a lot of tools, we have thousands of tools, but now what's now the next opportunity is having to be able to look at that code, the code that has just been generated by artificial intelligence, and then once you do that, you check whether there are any data leaks that are available in that. Okay, so that's another opportunity that is coming up. So in the same way, we are looking at vibe coding as making it easier for us to be able to get things done in a quicker way. We are also looking at artificial intelligence as a possible risk to our data. Now, when you talk of the market right now, and I know probably some of us are looking to get into self-employment, right? Or you are looking to start a certain business somewhere, and probably you're going to vibe code your website, you're going to vibe code your financial tools, right? Or you're going to have somebody do that for you. So now that the thing is, the market right now is also changing. The audience is changing. How the audience looks at things right now is not the same way they were looking at them in 2013, 2019, right? Right now, when we talk of artificial intelligence, it's also being used in our own personal lives, I would say. Take it for example, sometimes you could be searching for maybe a shoe, or you're just maybe browsing through a certain website, or you're browsing through social media, right? So when you're browsing through this social media, we are able to track what we call your digital footprint. Now, when we talk of digital footprint, we mean that when you're browsing through your phone or your computer, we can be able to know the sites that you visited, right? And I'm not talking about Google history. I'm talking about when you're viewing content on TikTok, when you're viewing content on Instagram, Facebook, and all the others, which is where 90% of us spend most of our time, right? So in this case, we are moving from a market that is proactive to a market that is reactive. Okay, I'll explain this in a bit. Charlene, you can move to I think that's number 5. Slide number 5. Okay, yeah. So we have something we call GNNs. GNNs is graph neural networks. Now, GNN is being used for market targeting, and this is being used even in your phone right now. If, say for example, you search for a shoe, the whole of that week you're going to find ads that are related to something similar to what you're searching. And you might ask, is Google listening to me, or is your phone listening to you? The thing is, the market right now is moving from a proactive, where if you wanted a shoe, you'd have to go look for a certain website, say Jumia or any other e-commerce website, or maybe probably you are searching for shoe photos on Instagram or on TikTok or on Facebook. But right now, how the market is operating is from a reactive point of view, impulse. We are getting a lot of impulse buying, and I think this is how businesses are now able to target a certain market or to target a certain audience. And it's because earlier you could have thought of it as, say for example, I want to buy a shoe, I'll go to this shop, or I go to this online e-commerce website, and I say I want this kind of shoe and that and that. But right now you're scrolling through your social media, and you take a few more seconds abnormally than what when you are viewing other content, and this particular thing is of interest to you, so you take a few more seconds viewing that particular content. So what happens is, now we are talking about GNNs. These graphical neural networks, they are able to pick your information, that information of your behavior when you are scrolling, and they are able to send this information to those ad companies. Okay, and then now you can be able to get ads that are related to something similar to what you have been viewing. The same way the social media algorithms work. They work by say, if, for example, user number 1 views your content and likes, viewer number 2 views the same content and likes, and you guys are in the same region, geographical region, you'll most likely see that say we are viewing on TikTok, you'll find that most people around that area are viewing similar kind of content, and if they continue liking, the algorithm keeps pushing and pushing your content to other people. So that's how it works. So right now when we talk of graph neural networks or GNNs, we are talking about segmenting or using these tactics to be able to segment markets based on whatever products you are using. And when we talk of business and the role of artificial intelligence, because if we go to back to the fourth you can scroll up, Charlene, the 4th slide. No, I think scroll down. Yeah, when we talk of key AI technologies, we are talking about machine learning. Now when we talk of machine learning, this is a field that is based on mathematics. Okay, now mathematics, it's where we can be able to pick up historical information and use it to predict the future. So if we pick up, say for example, every day you pass through a certain route every day without fail, that means you're most likely to pass through that route tomorrow or the other day. So that is machine learning. We are able to predict patterns. We can be able to look at a certain data set and discover patterns. Now, when we talk of NLP or natural language processing, this is where now we have an artificial intelligence system that can be able to understand. Say, for example, you type. Have you ever tried to type something on this artificial intelligence services like ChatGPT? I'll use that because that's the most popular right now. But as I said, we have millions of artificial intelligence right now. So when we talk of natural language understanding or natural language processing, we mean we can be able to have these machine learning algorithms that can be able to understand you in whatever language you speak in. So they can be able to, initially we used to have like artificial intelligence that only understands English or a singular language. But right now we have this machine learning or these programs that are able to understand you in whatever language you speak in. Okay, so that is NLP or natural language processing. And then when we talk of LLMs, it's large language models. So large language models is very heavy language models that are able to help you. It's still the same, works the same as NLP or natural language processing, but now this one is kind of bulk. Okay, so when we talk of ChatGPT, it's a bulk LLM. So you'll find we have things like Cloud Sonnet. We have Cloud Sonnet 3.5, 4.5, which is the newest model. We have several models under that. So those models are what we are calling large language models. Okay, and then when we talk of computer vision, I think this is something that we have been using in the current phone technologies. So it's where a computer is able to understand, like view things and understand, recognize what they mean. For example, you have your Google Lens. If you picked a photo and then you put it on Google Lens is able to identify or recognize where was this photo taken, or if this photo, say for example, you take a photo of a certain brand like Coca-Cola, so it's going to give you some information about that particular brand. So that is computer vision. So we can be able to recognize things from like a computer can be able to recognize things, and this is being used majorly in say for example processing industries. Say let me give you an example. A processing industry like tomato processing industry, the ones that make you the jam, they make you tomato paste and all that. How are they able to know if a tomato is ripe or not? So they use computer vision to be able to identify which one is ripe, which one is not. Okay, computer vision is being used in a lot of machine and processing industries. That's just an example, so that we don't take too much time on this. Okay, then we have RPA and AI. RPA is robotics. So we have robotics and we have artificial intelligence. So this is intelligent process automation. So when we talk of intelligent process automation, is where, say for example, I think we all know Tesla. They've created an artificial intelligence human being that can help you with your day-to-day work. They can make you some breakfast. They can make you those things that you do repetitively. They can be able to automate that and make it even intelligent, meaning the robot can be able to know this is an obstacle, this is a banana, this is where I'm supposed to do this, can be able to pick up instructions. Okay, so that is robotics and artificial intelligence. And then we have now the most abused product in the artificial intelligence realm. That is generative AI. Recently, we had a statistic. We had a statistic about ChatGPT, and especially in Kenya, we were told that Kenya is one of the biggest users of ChatGPT. So that shows a lot of people are looking for answers. A lot of people are looking for these tools. Now, you as a business, because the theme about today is about business. Okay, you as a business, how do you take this this information? How do you use that information? Now, as I said, buyers are now coming off proactive buying, and they are going into reactive buying. Now, when we talk of reactive buying, we mean websites. In the earlier days, we had websites. Websites were kind of like you put your products on the website, and people will come scroll through your website, and they'll tell you, I want this and I want that. But right now, what people are doing is they are feeding the information. I know you've used ChatGPT, you've used Gemini at some point in your time or in your life, right? So you've noticed that when you search, even when you search something very basic, the first answer you get is from Gemini. If you are searching on Google, if you are searching on any other platform, I'm sure they already have that that function where you can be able to get AI information. So you'll notice that AI is even suggesting websites that you can go check. How is AI knowing which websites to recommend to you? So what we are doing is, right now in the technology space, we are coding our websites in a way that this generative AI can be able to suggest this information to you. So that is what we are calling proactive selling. So as businesses, we need to come off those traditional methods of waiting for people to come to your website. What we are doing right now is taking our products into where we can be able to get these people right from the source. So if we know that people are spending so much time on ChatGPT, so what we are going to do is we are going to feed ChatGPT with information so that your website will always rank first when it comes to this generative AI giving answers to them. So that is what we are calling, that's the shift that we are talking about. And we've just talked about general neural networks, which is GNNs. And we have said that businesses are now using these neural networks to be able to target markets. Okay, so market segmentation and market targeting. Now, if we move on, Charlene, you can move on with me. When we talk of powered marketing intelligence, we are talking about three major things. Number one, we are talking about precision targeting. So precision targeting is what I've just talked about when I said that you'll find that me and you and another person who are in the same location, we are getting influenced by similar products on social media, similar ads. The same thing we are doing with the market out there. Okay, so we have like recommendations for multi-hop customers. Okay, so if, say for example, this customer and that customer and that customer are looking at the same thing, I think we are able to get one product from a certain dealer or a certain business, and then we recommend it to the rest. Okay, so that's what we are talking. We are saying about graph neural networks. Then we have network analysis, social influence, and scoring and ranking. So how are you able to know who is an influencer, or what? Right now I think influencing has become a job, right? It has become a career on its own. Okay, so when we talk of network analysis, we are able to analyze networks. We are able to analyze your LinkedIn profile, your YouTube channel, your everything. I know most people they tend to like to use maybe similar emails on different platforms. So you have one email, you've logged into all your platforms, all your social media, you've logged in using the same email, right? So that alone can be able to have and I was listening to Bright Gameli the other day, and he was talking about security, and he was saying that some people, the same email you've logged into your bank account, you have logged it into those websites, and you are accepting cookies that you don't even know what these cookies mean. What that does to you is, if somebody wants to harm you, they'll just come get your email and they can be able to download all your information about you. And that's what I said when I talked about vibe coding, and I said that vibe coding is posing a big risk when it comes to security and the security of our data. Well, so I just want to urge you guys, when you're going out there and you are doing purchases, please make sure that you are very cautious when you're giving out information to these websites, because you don't know if these companies even have a privacy policy. Okay, and you can even sue someone, because if your data is leaked somewhere, yeah, you can sue a certain company. So yeah, that's about that. Also goes to business people and entrepreneurs. So if you are a business person and you are doing vibe coding or you're using artificial intelligence, it's also very important for you to be able to know that, one, you need to have a privacy policy. Number two, you need to ask for consent for anybody who's coming into your website and they are accepting cookies, or somebody who's maybe looking for a job. Actually, that's another topic that we can discuss later on, right? Recruitment. How are businesses recruiting? They are recruiting by using artificial intelligence. Most people nowadays, their CVs don't get to the actual human recruiting team, because they are filtered before they get there. If you have 1 million or 100,000 CVs, you cannot take all that time only to get 2 candidates. So what do you do? So what you do is you come up with these systems that can be able to do the pre-recruitment for you and only give you the people that are fitting whatever profile you are looking for. So that's how the business world is shifting, and this is all thanks to artificial intelligence. So this is a good conversation for us to be having tonight, even as we talk of what impact this is creating and targeted marketing is creating, this GNN targeted marketing. So we also have the third factor in GNN marketing, or powered marketing intelligence. We have e-commerce. So e-commerce is also something else that is going in a very good pace, because if you are looking for a certain shoe and probably you are asking ChatGPT, where can I get this, it's always going to recommend you to most of these e-commerce platforms. So if for you are looking to get into business and you're looking to get into e-commerce, or you're looking to get into any sector, any field in the industry, yeah, please be able to be able to use what we talked about, give artificial intelligence, give your websites information that can be legible by artificial intelligence. So that's going to help you in marketing. Now, moving on, I think we've already talked about market shift, shifting from proactive to reactive purchases. I think that one we don't need to repeat. We can scroll, Charlene, if you can hear me. So yeah, we are moving on very well. Okay, move on to the next phase. Now, what are some of the use cases where we are seeing artificial intelligence coming in the business world? Number one is in customer service. There are companies right now where you are not, before you actually get to speak to an agent, and I'll give you an example. When was the last time you spoke to a Safaricom customer care agent? Yeah. So what we are doing is right now we are coming up with AI chatbots that can be able to handle about 80 to 90% of inquiries. So if a customer is inquiring about a certain product, they can be able to inquire in any language, and the chatbot is able to understand what your customers need, and they can be able to help them. Okay. So we also have sentiment analysis. So a sentiment is when somebody gives a review to your product. They say this product was really good. That is a positive sentiment. When a customer says this product is bad, that is a negative sentiment. So that is also something that is really helping by using artificial intelligence in customer service. Number two is on sales and marketing. Now, when talk of sales and marketing, I think we've already talked about reactive sales. So now we have predictive lead scoring. So we are able to score our leads in terms of, is it a hot lead, a cold lead, or a warm lead. So when we score our leads in those three categories, then we can be able to spend more time engaging with the hot leads and leave just little time engaging with the warm leads and the cool leads. Okay, we are also able to determine what are some of the best ways that we can make decisions. We say that artificial intelligence and data is all about decisions, moving from raw facts to decisions. That's what we call data analysis. Okay, so when we are analyzing leads, we are able to make these decisions, and these decisions are able to help us manage our workforce in a better way. Okay, so when we are able to manage our workforce in a better way. Say for example, if you could have had 1,000 leads, and out of the 1,000, 100 of them are hot leads. So you put more effort or more emphasis on the hot leads and less emphasis on the cold leads. So that's how this information is really helpful to your business. Number three is in supply and chain operations. So we are able to know using artificial intelligence, and we said when we are giving a background of artificial intelligence, we said we have machine learning, which we said it can be used for forecasting. Okay, so when you have these systems in your business, you are able to forecast demand and supply. So you can be able to check what is how long does your stock last? How long does a certain product in your stock last? So if you are operating, say for example, a supermarket, yeah, you don't need to keep restocking things that people are not buying. Yeah, so you can be able to forecast demand. You can also be able to do predictive maintenance. So if if say for example you are in a fleet company, and this fleet company you normally do say you service your vehicles every 2 to 3 months, yeah, and by the time you are servicing your vehicle, you already know what you need. You know you need an air filter, you need oil, you need maybe some new tires and so on and so forth. So you are able to do predictive maintenance. Okay, so you can be able to cut down on time that should have been used doing all that stuff, and use that time in a better way. Okay, then another thing is on finance and risk. Okay, so in finance we are having things like fraud detection. Now I know most of you must have known, if you are in business, you could have known probably, if your business works with M-Pesa, we have now moved from G2 to G3. G2, ideally, the reason why we are moving from G2 to G3 is because we need to have systems that can detect fraud. Yeah, and I think M-Pesa is one of the areas where fraud is being consistently used, and especially to our grandmas and our mothers back in the village. Yeah, so what we are doing is using artificial intelligence to be able to identify patterns, and these patterns, when there is an anomaly in the pattern, it raises an alert, and this alert, with this alert we are able to know okay, here we have an anomaly and this is what needs to be done. Okay, so we can be able to do real-time risk assessment. Okay, yeah, so now I think that's about it for that particular section. We are almost done. Now when we talk of business impact and return on investment, we're talking about what are some of the what's the business impact of using artificial intelligence. Number one is productivity gain, and I think I've already explained what that means. We are able to be more productive when we are having when we are using artificial intelligence in our businesses. Okay, we are able to reduce cost. I said a certain task could have taken maybe 10 people to do, but right now with vibe coding and with artificial intelligence, we can be able to do that in maybe 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours, and then the rest is validation. Okay, so that's cost reduction. Number 3 is revenue growth. So when you reduce your expenses, what happens is it has a direct relationship, or it's directly proportional to your gains. Okay, so revenue growth is also something else. So those are some of the things. We have customer satisfaction. We are able to satisfy our customers by having somebody who's there to work with you 24 hours. We are able to have revenue growth. We have cost reduction and productivity gains. Those are some of the things that we can be able to see once we start using some of these tools. Okay, now when we talk of a roadmap, where do we start? If you are in business, you have a business, however small it is, yeah, however small your business is, you need to have a roadmap into how you are going to implement artificial intelligence, because if you don't do that, the thing is, the world is not stopping for you, right? The world is not gonna stop for you. You need to have a roadmap into how you are going to integrate artificial intelligence into your processes. Okay, number 1 is foundation. You need to have a foundation. Now when I talk of artificial intelligence, I said it's majorly based on data, so using past data or current data. Okay, so if you need to have artificial intelligence into your processes, you need to have a foundation. Okay, check on your data. How are you collecting your data? What is the quality of the data that you are collecting? With that, you can be able to know, okay, now I have this data, now how do I make sense of it? because data is just raw facts. Okay, data is just raw facts. But now when you put some more meaning, you put some visualizations into it, it tells a story. Okay, so data visualization, from data to visualization, it tells a story. You get to tell a story about your data. So if, say for example, you have been collecting 1 million shillings every month in your business, and then 1 month you collect 1.2 million shillings. Okay, so what that tells you, if you have a, say for example, a visualization, what that tells you is probably you did something that affected your revenue. Okay, so having just the data, you'll just have the figures 1.2 million shillings. But looking at maybe different visualizations, you are able to know, okay, I had 1 million last month, I have 1.2 million this month. There is something different I did. Okay, so that is on foundation. Make sure you get assess your data infrastructure, identify how you are going to build AI teams, establish the data privacy policies into your company, and then you can be able to start. Now, the second thing on the implementation roadmap is pilot. You need to pilot. Okay, give AI a chance. Give AI a chance in your business. You are able to pilot and say, okay, we have this tool, say for example, cloud enterprise. Okay, so if you have cloud enterprise, you say, okay, what we are going to do is we are going to see once we add artificial intelligence into our business, what effect do we get? Okay, what effects do we get? Charlene, I think you are showing a different screen. Okay, thank you. Right, then number 3, we have scaling. So once you have piloted and you have proven that artificial intelligence is indeed something that you need in your business, then now you can be able to scale and go fully fledged into artificial intelligence. All right, now what are some of the common challenges that we are facing when we are trying to implement artificial intelligence in our businesses? Number 1 is on data quality and availability. Okay, and that goes to the foundation when you are doing AI implementation roadmap. You can move to the next slide, Charlene. So data quality is a very important issue. You have to have the best quality of data to get the best quality of results. Okay, so if you have poor data management or poor data quality, then it undermines whatever information you are going to get as the results from AI. Okay, in the tech world we say garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so when you give artificial intelligence garbage information, it gives you garbage results. Okay, so what we are trying to do is be able to plan very well. How do you clean your data? How do you pre-process your data before you can feed it into an artificial intelligence system? Okay, number 2 is skills and gaps. So we have skill gaps in the African ecosystem. We don't have enough people who can be able to work in effectively with data. Okay, we don't have enough people in the data field. I think in Africa, starting from 2011, that's when we had about data roles and data science, data engineering, all those data roles. So that means we have a gap in the market, and that's where one of the Tech Africa spaces where we are trying to bridge that gap and bridge that talent shortage. Okay, make sure that before you start working with this AI implementation strategy, you are able to have the right talent. They say that one of the most expensive decisions you can ever make in business is when you employ the wrong people. Okay, So employing the wrong people is going to make your work very, very hard. Okay, so you have to employ the right talent, and that can only be done when we have people who are actually talented, who are actually up to the skill or up to the task. Okay, then another challenge is on integration complexity. Okay, so we have a lot of people don't actually, as I said when we were starting this conversation, I said that we have artificial intelligence, but how many people actually move from generative AI? Because most people only know generative AI. You can be able to generate a code, you can be able to generate an answer, a visualization, you can be able to generate a picture, a photo, a video. Okay, but how many people are actually creating systems that are solving real world problems? So that's where it starts. So you have to make sure that when we talk of integration complexity, artificial intelligence is quite complex, and that's why I said it's very expensive for you to be able to get the right talent. So you have to invest in the right talent so that you can be able to have your systems integrated with artificial intelligence in the correct way. So we have an API architecture, and we have microservices. What approach are you taking towards that, and so on and so forth? Okay, so now moving on to what's the future of enterprise AI? Okay, number one, we have multimodal AI. Now multimodal, when we talk of multimodal AI, we mean you can be able to create a system that can leverage more than one AI, more than one model. Okay, so you don't just rely on ChatGPT, you don't just rely on Google Cloud, or Cloud Sonnet, or whichever model. You can have a system that can be able to cross-validate your answers. You can have a system that can be able to cross-validate whatever output you're getting from artificial intelligence. So that is one of the futures of AI. Okay, that's where we are heading in the enterprise world. Then we have AI agents. I think it was Kasim who said about Google AI Studio, which is one of the best platforms you can create AI agents. We have others like N8. It's called N8N, something like that. Yeah, where you can be able to create AI agents to automate processes. Okay, so you don't need to keep once you have like, say for example, email leads, you can create a system, an AI system that can be able to automate the process of outreach. Okay, they can be able to reach out to your customers, they can be able to reach out to people out there, or your leads, and be able to close deals for you. So that is on AI agents. That's where we are heading. Then we have Edge AI. My apologies. So this information is going to be very useful in the future of artificial intelligence, and how we consume artificial intelligence in our businesses. So we have in healthcare, we are getting AI assisted diagnosis. We have in manufacture, we have autonomous systems. We have retail, especially in manufacturing. We have in retail, we have in transport. I noticed the other day we now have a port that is operated completely by robotics. So they can be able to move those containers over and plan how they have a system, how they are able to put these containers into different categories, and they are able to minimize the traffic within the ports. Okay, then we have in retail, we have we've talked about hyper personalization, where you have targeted marketing or targeted markets, hyper personalization. Then we have finance, we talked about M-Pesa being one of them. Banks are now going into artificial intelligence to be able to automate some of the processes and be able to identify some of the risks that are that happen in the financial world. Okay, we have quantum computing, which is also something that people are really going into. And when we talk of quantum computing, we are talking about complex models that have a fourth dimension. Okay, so it's we've been thinking about in three dimensions. We've been thinking about the world in 3 dimensions. Now we have a whole state. Imagine if something can exist in a different state than the ones that we learned in science. We have water, which is liquid state, gas state. We have solid state. We have all those states. Now we have a 4th dimension where things can exist in a whole different dimension, and quantum computing comes in there. Okay, and when we talk of quantum computing, we are talking about blockchain, and blockchain is also changing the future in terms of transparency in the financial world. We now have bitcoins, we have Ethereum, we have all those services that are coming up because of quantum computing and Bitcoin mining. Okay, so those are some of the things that we are talking about when we say what's the future of artificial intelligence in the enterprise world. Okay, now I just want to close this off by talking to us about what are some of the things that we are going to take away from this webinar. Okay, so one is that artificial intelligence is a strategic imperative for competitive advantage. So for you as a business person or as an entrepreneur, it's your time to take this opportunity to take AI and run with it. Make sure that you can get a competitive advantage when it comes to taking your business to a whole different level. Okay, what's that one thing that you're doing in your business that make sure that your business is going forward? Okay, so that's one. Number 2, we have start small with high impact use cases and scale. So you don't have to know everything about AI right now. Just know a few things and start there. Okay, start there, get the right talent. Then once you start there, you can scale to fully fledged autonomous systems in your company or in your business. Then we have another key takeaway is success requires leadership, commitment, and change. So for us to be able to succeed, we have to change, all of us. We've said that the world is not waiting for anybody, not even us ourselves. So if you want to make it happen, we keep saying that our grandfathers, maybe they were in Nairobi, they didn't do anything, or they were in the cities, they didn't pick up a parcel of land or anything. Yeah, but now our future generations will be asking, you guys were here when this artificial intelligence discussions were starting, why didn't you start? People were the same when it came to Bitcoin in 2013, when Bitcoin was costing around 60,000 per Bitcoin. Yeah, right now we are talking about tens of millions per Bitcoin. So the people who started in 2013 are right now 10 or 100 million times better. Okay, now number 4, as we finish, is we address challenges with proper governance. I'm hoping that we can be able to have proper governance when it comes to data management. We can have laws that can actually protect the data, people's personal data, laws that can protect people's personal privacy or personal spaces, and we can have an ecosystem where everybody is safe. Okay, and then lastly is that the future belongs to responsible AI, responsible use of artificial intelligence. Use it responsibly, and you'll be able to see the good things that come of it. With that, that's all for today's episode. I just want to welcome any questions that you might be having. Thank you so much for listening to me, and thank you so much for attending today's discussion. I hope you enjoyed the discussion, and I hope you are taking the next step when it comes to artificial intelligence and when it comes to moving your business or your career forward. So I'll pick any questions in the next 5 minutes. If you have any questions you would like to ask, Charlene, you can also help. You can type or you can unmute. You can raise up your hand, unmute, and ask any questions you might be having.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Bonnie. Thank you so much for your presentation. I'd like to also add on what Bonnie has taught us. Generally, in the factor.
Thank you, Kasim. I think, Charlene, we can't hear you. Okay, any questions? I can take any questions that we might be having. You can just unmute. Just unmute and speak up. Any questions? I hope you understood. I hope you understood what we were discussing. Any questions? Okay. All right. Now I want to welcome you to Tech Africa. If you'd like to have any services, we develop websites, we develop systems that data collection systems, data analysis systems. If you want to improve or upskill as a person, if you want to upskill your workforce, if you have a business, you want to upskill your workforce, we can do that for you. Please feel free to reach out. We have our website, www.techafricaanalytic.com. I can share the let me share it here on the chat. Just give me a minute. .com. Okay, so that's our website. You can visit our website, get to know more about us, and we also welcome you to any of our other sessions. We are having a data science cohort coming up in January. We would like to welcome you to apply for that one. We can be able to help you move your skills or the skills of your workforce to the next level. Esther Kaingu asking, for small businesses, how can tech apply or solutions tailored specifically for small businesses just starting out? Okay, as I said, the biggest challenge is data collection. Once you can figure out how you can collect the data, then you can be able to start from there. That's the biggest issue when it comes to artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence relies a lot on data. Actually, you might have noticed, I think right now the some of the older models of ChatGPT, which was one of the most popular and oldest generative artificial intelligence, is that you could notice that ChatGPT was only trained with data up to 2011, I think, or 2021. I'm not sure which one. So I think what I'm trying to say is, as a small business, however small your business is, the very first step you need to take. Okay, somebody is has unmuted. Okay, all right. The very first step is identify how you're going to collect your data, and then once you know how you're going to collect your data, then from there you can be able to identify the steps forward. How do you now create stories from your data? How do you now create insights, get insights from your data, and how do you use this data to make meaningful decisions? Now, if you'd also like to have maybe spend a small budget to have somebody like Tech Africa or any other company out there build for you a data collection system, you can also take that one, that option. Then you can be able to be collecting data, getting some insights, get some dashboards. Even if it's in Excel, you can just have proper records rather than having records on your books. Okay, because on your books you can't be able to do some of the things, but at least start by collecting data, and then from there you can be able to keep improving and continue improving. I hope I've answered your question, Ruth. No, Esther. Okay. Kasim says you talked a bit about ROI. Well, how can the return on investment of AI initiatives be realistically measured, considering both hard metrics, revenue or efficiency, and softer long-term benefits like enhanced decision-making capabilities, improved risk management, and increased innovation capacity? Okay, thank you, Esther. Thank you, Kasim. That's a very, very important question that we can answer right now. Now, when you talk of return on investment, it's when you pay for a certain service. Say, for example, that artificial intelligence, you pay for a newer model or a better model. Now, how do you measure return on investment? You measure it by the value that you are getting. If the investment you have made is not giving you back the value that you needed, then it means that whatever you're doing is not effective for your business. Before you get to doing those long-term benefits and decision making, you can take this. You can start even with the free, instead of like if you've not really figured out the best way to go about whatever initiative you're trying to move in your business. You can try by first of all starting with the free models, right? Instead of paying for an artificial intelligence system, and then that artificial intelligence system is just laying aimlessly within your systems. Okay, so instead of just having a system that is going to come and stay idle, you'd rather start with a free model, or first of all formulate the value of what value you are looking for. Once you know what value you are looking for example, if I want to get 2.5 and I'm now at 0.1, and I say once I get to 0.3 I can do a checkpoint. Okay, so what you do is you put in some checkpoints. If you pay for this month for this service for maybe 1 month, and then the second month, the third month, and you're not looking at what value you are getting from this, and you cannot be able to quantify the value that you're getting, then it means that whatever you're doing is not giving you proper return on investment. Okay, so for you to be able to realistically measure your return on investment on AI initiatives, you have to first of all know your destination, know where you want to get, so that, for example, if somebody comes and tells you, and I think this is how most people use generative AI, they just say, give me data. Okay, if you tell me, or if you tell any artificial intelligence, any generative artificial intelligence, give me data, it's going to that's a very general thing. It's going to like move around and just pick any garbage from anywhere, right? Like I said, garbage in, garbage out. So be able to know what results you are expecting, and then once you get to know the results that you are expecting, now use artificial intelligence initiatives to be able to help you answer the how. Okay, so know the where you are getting, and then help use the help of artificial intelligence to measure or discover the how. So it can give you ideas, it can give you policies that that can help you maybe put a pin to what you're trying to achieve, and also help you do checkpoints, help you do validation, sense checks, maker checkers, have maker checkers within the system. So that's how you can be able to measure ROI, or return on investment. I hope I've answered your question, Kasim. Okay, any questions? Any other questions? Any last questions? Okay, so if no other questions, then thank you, Kasim. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for listening to me and for being here tonight as we had this discussion. I hope the discussion was insightful to you as it was to us, and we hope to see you on the next one.